I think you can see the new blood in them. They are not old because we don't have anything to do with old blood. We went far, and this is what they are with us today. They are the one their name island are public. You can search and Google, and these are our candidates for Ego and Igowaka. We don't have much to say. We want to thank all support groups. I want this to sell in all support group. That's why you were invited also, so that you will know that it's not just Peter Obi. Peter Obi cannot.
All right, so we're guys, so sorry.
Yes, we will try to. While we are not talking, I think it'll be. I mean.
Go and take care of divorce. Don't take out of me of them. Tell you, those of you whose marriages are on the way to divorce, cannot save you, neither can continue. Those of you that have a bad relationship with children, it's not the government of Nigeria that is responsible. And to take responsibility for your own problems. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you want to say something? Go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much for talking about that. It's quite important because we've been threatened with bodily harms in our DMs, and that's not acceptable, no matter what.
So, threatens you. Give me that person's name. I will physically block that person's destiny. That person will pray and God will not listen. What I'm doing, where I will block you, I will put your soul in a bottle like those good people. And I will drum for you, and you know what, when you're back, you say, we enter the bush and you will not come out. They will call your name and you will never answer again. Oh, let me be the one to threaten now. Think you have madness. So please.
Yes, we will try to. While we are not talking, I think Peter B. I mean, is first. Peter B. and I, we can mute ourselves. So whatever comment we are making in the back to interfere with what he's saying, we want to try to give everybody their time to talk, except during the last boost that we know.
All right. Thank you so much. I love this already. All right, ladies and gentlemen. 5-minute time limit, starting with Abubakar. Winner of 6 awards, by AB, represented by Abubakar Shuaibu Detta. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear him speak for the next 5 minutes about education. Over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Datti. Thank you for the support you've given us from also the audience and my co-creators. Thank you. Education is very important for every nation. You cannot underemphasize on how important education is. Now, I'm going to speak about my candidate, that is His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, and how he takes education very seriously. Now, for so many years, he has given education sector the significant attention that it requires. And he was also going to be the vice president under the administration of Obasanjo. Now, before I get back to that, let me just say for 2023, he's campaigning for, education is one of his 5-point agenda that he has stated that wants to put key emphasis on. So that is quite clear that he has taken education quite seriously. Now, Nigeria is a country with huge population and huge potential. And the only way that we can take advantage of that is ensuring that education plays a very fundamental role in our country. Now, what he is really trying to look at is to now put emphasis and promotion of science and technical education. Because by emphasizing on that, means he's going to put us to work, he's going to put us to work, people can be able to work, can be able to create. And those are some of the emphasis. And I really agree with him in regards to that. A lot of our vocational schools have gone into comatose, right? And as people, we need skills. If we start producing, if we need to start manufacturing, if we need to go to the 21st century, then science and technology cannot be overemphasized. That is what he is really going into, just to prepare the current and future generation towards the 21st century that we are in. So, and if I go back to 1999 to 2007, what they have done together during the administration of Obasanjo and Atiku, the administration recorded significant achievement that honestly, it's something to look into. The administration got many international recognitions then, and on account of its policies for tuition, for free tuition, in most of all federal universities. Other achievements include pursuit and implementation of policies on space and science implementation. I think that brought about the creation of NACOMSAT during that administration. So there are quite a lot of things that my candidate, he has experience, and looking at what they did back then during that administration actually shows how his emphasis on education. If you can also remember, they established the distance learning then, which was the Open University, and not minding age, not minding distance, wherever you are, you had the opportunity to actually educate yourself for free, or at a token that is so small that you were able to afford, accommodation. If you remember, during Open University days then, a lot of old people actually went back to school because they had the opportunity to do so. So those are basics of how things were done then, and his emphasis on education and how important education was. And also, if you remember, the introduction of the universal basic education also came into an administration, and he played a fundamental role in ensuring that happened. So without a doubt, presently in Nigeria now, we are 200 million and counting, right? We are importing most of our consumables, almost everything. In one of the gaps that we have, and that is important to be able to grow here and to get Nigeria producing, is to actually focus on that vocational institution, whereby technical and science come into play, that will be able to teach our younger generation skills. And I truly believe that is what we need, because with those skills, that means we have no limits to what we can do. Look at other nations that actually have a huge population. They've actually used that population to put it into use and produce. And we're importing from other. Now he's trying to say that we should reverse the case, where the nation will be able to have the skills to get into production. Able to skills. I don't know if I'm still on time. Do I?
No. Yeah.
All right.
I was just.
I was enjoying, by the way. I was enjoying. All right, over to team. Ladies and gentlemen, team Peter Gregory will be starts now. You're mute. Unmute yourself.
Thank you. Good evening, Daddy Freeze. Good evening, Nigerians. My name is Tochwi. I'm a concerned Nigerian, which is why I'm supporting Peter Obi in the coming presidential election. Topic today, we all know education means an aggregate of all the activities that are directed at achieving certain aims. Such aims include transmitting knowledge, offering skills and character. In a nutshell, it means human development to build our capacity, competence, and character. Okay. It could also include understanding, rationality, and kindness, even honesty, the way we behave. So education goes in two ways. You have the informal, which happens at home, and then the formal education, which happens in defining the walls of the institutions. It could be academic, it could be technical, it could be vocational, it could be tropical medicine, which some people call traditional medicine. ICT education is also there, which is limited in the world now. Then apprenticeship and all. Now we are in Nigeria today in education. In education, we know that Nigeria is nowhere, and that is why many people are going outside to acquire education. It shows in the kind of budgeting we have for education. Today we are talking, we have only 5.4% of our national budget into education, which is nothing compared to what UNESCO advised, about 15 to 20% of national budget for every developed country. Okay, now, the question is, what is my principle coming on board with regarding education? Peter has always said that education will be the #1 priority in his government, human capacity. Okay, so he's going to investigate heavily. He will increase the budget allocation for education and provide infrastructures. Okay, now on this institution directly by cutting the unnecessary toll gates that leads to passion of fund on implementation. And he will engage prudent managers. Himself, we know, is a prudent person, and so prudent managers will be involved. He has said severally, without missing words, that he's going to have sincere discussion with ASU and other unions in the education sector, and sincerely start meeting their demands, which are in line with good education. He said he will turn brain drain, which we have now, to brain gain, and that is to say that the country will start doing well. Now the question is, has he antecedents that will make us believe what he has said he will? Yes, he does. In Anambra State as a governor, he met a very messy situation, academic decadence, and he started working. We know Anambra State had way of non-educational activities. Schools were shut down because of strike. Peter came, he started from day one. He took education, all the institutions, and gave them back to the original owners, the churches. He didn't just give and leave, he gave them and then continued to finance, to fund these schools 100%, including remunerations and providing important facilities that enhance learning. First class, state of the art laboratory equipment. He bought buses for all the schools in Anambra State and gave built a whole lot of things, including classroom blocks, hostels, old ones he renewed, and he built new ones for them. He supplied 25,000 units of HP laptop to all the schools, secondary schools in Anambra State. Okay? And he encouraged competition. He didn't establish Microsoft Academy in secondary schools, which was what attracted Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to come and support the state. Okay, now Anambra State, you already know, was taken by Peter from 26 to 21 on national exams, NECO and SSCA. Is on record. Again, Peter Obi made it possible that Anambra students started becoming number one in national and international educational competitions. On the tertiary institutions, he rebuilt the Anambra State University and built a new campus at Igbariam. He went further to build another institution in Anambra State. I'm talking about the teaching hospital, or the teaching hospital, from foundation to finish. And he equipped it with medical equipment. No wonder when COVID-19 broke out in the world, while other states were looking for equipment, Anambra State already had 4 ventilators, which made it possible for the state to manage the pandemic very well. Thanks to Peter Obi. Now, after he left government, Peter Obi went round the whole states in the nation, giving out his hard-earned money, supporting education in all the states. At least no school got less than #1 million from the, some got 5 million. Peter Obi took this over to African countries, Rwanda and Kenya. He gave also. So thank you very much, Danny Freeze. Thank you.
All right, well said. Try to stay within the 5-minute time limit. We still haven't gotten any stars so far, but it's time for Asiwaju's group, and the topic is education. Over to you.
Thank you, Daddy Freeze. The saying says, education is the light of a nation, the lamp that helps us to see where we are and what parts to realize that greatness. The person that says that was Bola Tinubu in 2019. So, the challenges of education in Nigeria is not just about funding. It's more than that. There's multiple things affecting education in Nigeria. Funding. We have problem of funding. We have problem with management of the limited resources that we have, and we also have problem when it comes to political will to address the situation. Those are the problems we have. I know that everybody that's talked has mentioned, well, allocation, budget, and yeah, truly, the budget allocation should actually be not 15 to 20. It's actually 26% that should be allocated for developing countries. But before 1999, Nigeria's budgetary allocation for education was 11%. When Olusegun Obasanjo wanted to do it in 2003, under Obasanjo Atiku administration, they dropped it to 1.7% of the budgetary allocation. That's how important they thought education was. Now, I'm not going to take away their achievements. They achieved some things, some significant things, but you can tell by the funding they gave it. So, but I'm going to talk about what Asiwaju did in Lagos. I schooled in Lagos. I was raised in Lagos. I was born in Lagos. I grew up in Lagos. I went to school in Lagos. While I didn't benefit from Asiwaju's governorship when he was in office, because I graduated secondary school in 1999, but my siblings did benefit from him. Their WAEC and NECO was paid by him. In fact, I was just doing some calculation yesterday, and I was saying, let's assume average age of people on Daddy Freeze live now watching this, average age is 30. Majority of those people were not born, or were probably 40 years old when Asiwaju's administration was wrapping up. So you really don't know anything. A lot of things you know about Asiwaju, what you've heard people say, or what you've read. So I'm going to help you and tell you what this man did when he came to Lagos. Asiwaju brought in era of reforms, rehabilitation, and new policies to actually galvanize the education sector in Lagos State. Asiwaju put money and resources in training, in building schools, built schools, rehabilitating schools that were already dilapidated. I still remember very well that the Freeze is sitting there, he can testify to it if he was only allowed to talk. me growing up, I still remember having to carry my own desk and chair to school every time. And I'm sure a lot of us actually did pre-1999. That's what secondary school used to look like. That was what it was like in Nigeria. That was what we were doing. Ashwaju put a stop to that in Lagos. No child will have to be limited from going to school because the parents could not afford to buy desks, to buy books, to buy uniform, because we provided those things in Lagos. Now, when you're talking about education policy, not everybody was born to have the mental capacity to go to regular schools. We have kids that have disability, kids with ADHD, we have kids with autism and all kinds, blindness, deaf, and all that. Ashwaju didn't just renovate schools, so equipment and resources to regular schools. Schools are still today, Wesley in Surrey.
That is what he plans to do. You understand? And
going over to Peter Obi, who right now is actually dominating the Star Wars. All of a sudden, Prince Akwachi from nowhere just jumped and is leading the Star Wars. He's obedient. Over to you, obedient.
Thank you, Daddy. Thank you, Daddy. Please, you know, you cannot give what you do not have. And education, to get better, what you need is to manage it very well. And P2B has shown that he's an exemplary manager, prudent manager on education in Anambra State. Now, my friend here is about, from Timatiku, you talked about what is going to be done, and you said quite enough things. Okay, now I want to remind you that under Mint, which Atiku was part of, he wasn't really in charge of national government, but at least his office was in charge of education sector. All right, and we know that era, education in the whole of Nigeria wasn't doing great. Okay, is to do something. We want to know what he has done in his own capacity. The Nigerian American University is so expensive. That's a business venture. Okay, if you must achieve something, you must be able to combine efficiency and effectiveness to have good results. And we are not seeing that, judging from what we have seen in Adamawa. Now, coming to my good sister, my beautiful sister from Team Shewaju, you know a number of things. You are crediting them to Tinubu in Lagos. Let me ask you, and it's on record, in 2002, when he was the governor of Lagos State, tuition of public schools was increased by from 1,000 naira to 25,000 naira. You are aware? We are talking about investing money in education. It was actually reaping the people, all right? And it did not even metamorphose into performance because Lagos State was coming a distant 7th position in national. So where was the effect? Nothing. And okay, look at the higher institutions. You talked about Tinubu performing wonders. It's on record, and you can see it even on net. Last Lagos State University went on strike that stayed long. When the students could not take it any further, they went on street to protest. What did they get in return? Gruesome murder of 2 students, people who went to school were killed, and it was on news that they accused the state government of giving the order for that. The issue is that you are having somebody who refuses to be questioned, who refuses to be questioned by anybody. His order must be obeyed, and that is what showed. If he has character, which education imbibes in us, he wouldn't have thrown away the a man who went to school. What our certificate is that having been found worthy in learning and in character, so to be able to buy this if you actually went to school. So he does tell us that he's going to do wonders when he himself doesn't have wonders in him. And the same thing applies to Tinubu and that. We need to see what they have done and what is in them so that they can give out. From my principle, promoted this. You could say if he did it, we saw the effect on 26 beat record in the whole of Nigeria. Nobody, that none of your principles, we didn't get close to that record, not to talk of being that record. It can't happen. And in his statement, watch his submissions in all the campaigns and the lectures he has been delivering. A very civilized man. He does not cajole anybody. He does not attack anybody. To what he says, he focuses on the issue. That is a man who went through school and allowed school to go through him. Now, does it not surprise you that UNESCO commended him as the real reformer of education based on what he did in Anambra State? It's not just that he gave out, he also shows it by example. When he looks at issues, he looks at them critically and finds solutions. That is what he done. He wanted excellence why it was not done. Instead of the same thing every cost from Anambra, 1 million from him, and from us, it have been given credit for what he has
What over to our only one month today, doing quite well in a sea of men.
Bye.